So, this is the next part of the story. Till now, we have seen that examination was held and examination was done, and there were certain things which happened. And now, examination was about to be over. The governor heard the final exchanges. Uh, the invigilator, that was McCleary, he asked for stop writing the please, and then he asked him to put Evans to put the sheets in order. And then finally it was, and then finally McCleary called Stephens, and governor heard the door close for the last time. Examination was over. So the moment of crisis was over. Now, while Stephens, as instructed by governor, was taking McCleary to the main door, main gates, he just asked how he thought that Evans has done. So McCleary, the invigilator, he said that he does not think that Evans has done so well, or something like that. Now, while he was giving a reply, Stephens observed that the broad Scottish accent seemed to be broader, and the long overcoat that he has worn seemed it gave an illusion that McCleary has suddenly grown slimmer. Now the thing is that when people are under tension or nervousness, they hardly observe the things. But now the crisis was over, so Stephens was able to observe everything. Now Stephens felt very happy because governor had asked him, not senior officer Jackson, to do look after the duties. And now while he was returning back after seeing McCleary off, he was already late for his morning coffee. But then before that, he just wanted to go and see the cell once more, as it is a general human tendency that we check and recheck when we lock the doors, as he had seen in some TV serial also, that a lady who would not be easily convinced, and she would check the door before going to the bed and something like that. So he re-entered the D-wing, made his way along to Ivan's cell and opened the peephole once more. But he was suddenly shocked. Something that he saw that there sprawled back in Ivan's chair was a man. For a semi-second, Stephen thought it must be Ivan's. A grey regulation blanket slipping from his shoulders, the front of the cropped hair, irregularly tufted hair wash, and that the person who was there sitting on the chair was bleeding profusely. Stephens was completely alarmed. He shouted wildly for Jackson, and the words seemed to penetrate the ear of the person that was there in that, and it was McCleary. He just took out a handkerchief, and by the time Jackson called for the ambulance and everything, that handkerchief was completely soaked with blood. Now, when they reached the room, McCleary slowly raised himself. His face showed that he was in great pain. He said that don't worry about the ambulance, man. I'm all right. Get the police. I know where he means he had some idea what he wants. And he implored these two prison officers to take him to the governor. Now, in the prison, there was a scene of chaos. There were prison officers who were barking orders. Prisoners were pushed into their way along the corridors. Doors were banged and bolted. Sirens were ringing all around. And within a minute, McCleary with Jackson and Stephen supporting him on either side. His face now streaked and caked with drying blood was greeted in the prison yard by the governor. Puzzled and green, confused. Even governor could not understand what was happening. So he was completely perplexed and governor said that he should be taken to the hospital immediately, but McCleary insisted that have the police been informed. And then he suddenly uh, told the governor, "I'm all right. Look here." He opened the German question paper and thrust it before the governor's face. "It's there. Do you see what I mean?" And then governor, when he looked at the question paper, he realized what McCleary was trying to tell him. A photocopy sheet had been carefully and cleverly superimposed on the last, that is, the originally blank page of the question paper. A photocopy sheet was cleverly stuck over there, and there were some instructions over it, and that was what McCleary was trying to make governor to look at. When governor looked at the text, he saw the things in German. Now he tried to translate it because governor himself had learned German some long years back. and now he was trying to translate the things, and then he was able to translate now all the places where it is written something something something. That means that that particular thing governor was not able to translate, but roughly the whole printed photocopied sheet had instructions. And what were the instructions? You must follow the plan already. The vital point in the time is 3 minutes before the end of the examination. Don't hit him too hard. Remember, he is a minister, and don't overdo the Scots accent. So these were the instructions given over there. While governor was trying to translate the things, he heard the siren. The police car was coming over there. Superintendent Carter reached over there. He just asked governor at the first instant what is happening, but then he suddenly saw McCleary, and he was also shocked. Who has hit him? Now, before governor could give any explanation, McCleary interfered. Elsfield Way officer, I know where he was. He was breathing heavily and leaned for support against the side of the car, where the imprint of his hands was left in tarnished crimson. Now Carter, he was a little confused. He looked at governor. Governor said that he was the only one with in the cell, so he was the only one who was in a position to tell what happened, and if he felt that he could be taken, so he could take him with him. And so Governor McCleary again sailed Elsfield Way, and then the Superintendent Carter, he put him in the car, supported McCleary into the car, and the car went away from it. Now Elsfield Way, as McCleary has said. So governor started thinking about it. Yes, of course, the examination board was in the Elsfield Way. So it suddenly struck him that someone was there in the examination board who was from the very beginning involved with the whole thing. And that was the reason. That was the reason. Missed question paper, correction slip, everything was now striking to the governor that something, someone was there who was from the very beginning attached with the whole thing. And that was, everything was planned. Now, both the prison officers were in front of him. And then governor said, I don't need to tell you what has happened. And now which one of you two morons was it who took Evans for a nice little walk to the main gates and waved him bye-bye? Huh? Who was that idiot who took Evans to the gate and said him bye-bye? Stephen said, sir, it was me, but I acted according to the instruction that you have given. So governor was confused. Who? When I said it? So he said that around 11:20. You know, sir, about 20 past 11 just before. You blithering idiot, man. It wasn't me who rang you. Don't you realize? Now you remember 11:20? Governor picked up the phone. But he was not calling the D wing. He was actually trying to call the examination board to find out what the things were. But he was not able to connect. Now, meanwhile, someone, as governor, called in D wing and in the voice of governor gave all the instruction to whom? Stephens. Now, when he understood that the mistake has been done, now it was turn of Jackson. Now the governor turned towards Jackson and said that, Mr. Jackson or Jackson, when do you think, from when you are thinking that there is something in your skull, it is absolutely empty. Now why this anger was towards Jackson? Because previous evening, Jackson had searched Ivan's cell for 2 hours and he had reported to governor that everything has been cleared. But Evans had not only hidden the clothes of the priest, get up of the priest, but also he has hidden some weapon with which he had given such a blow to the invigilator. Now a prison van backed alongside, but governor did not move. He was just going through that German instruction and he was trying to decode it. Now there it was written, to Headington roundabout, where you go straight over and make your way to New Graben. New Graben. Oh, where on earth? New something, New Grave. Oh, never heard it. There was a place, Wargrave, but there was no place such as Newgrave. And then suddenly struck governor, Newbury. Oh, Newbury was a big place. So he immediately said to the driver that he has to go to the St. Eldred police station and take Jackson and Stephens there, and he gave instruction to Jackson and Stephens that once they reach St. Helder police station, they have to contact Chief Inspector Bell. Meanwhile, he himself went into his office, called Chief Inspector Bell, and gave all the facts. All the facts. The Inspector Bell said that, okay, sir, we'll get him. We'll get him with a bit of luck. Now, Governor was sitting in his office and he was thinking of the whole plan. He was suddenly very appreciative of Evans. What a clever fellow he was, and such a beautifully laid plan. But he has also done a mistake like others. He has left that question paper back, and because of that, he will be very soon caught and he will be completing his. Now, while he was thinking all this, the phone rang. It was Superintendent Carter. He informed that McCleary had spotted Ivan's car and they had followed him till Elsfield Way. They got the number of the car, but when they were at Headington roundabout, they lost the car. And maybe Carter's view was that the car must have turned back towards the city. But the governor said no, it is not like that. He is not towards the Oxford, but he is going to Newbury, and he gave his explanation why he thinks like that. Governor was right now thinking that it was no more his case was in his hands. It was not now a police case, and he was just uh, good for a gullible governor. Means uh, everyone will be making fun of him. Then he inquired about McCleary, that what has happened to McCleary. By now he must be at the hospital. So Carter informed him, yes, he must be by now at Radcliffe, because when they were at examination board office, his condition was really bad. So the people from the office, they made a call to the ambulance and they left him over there. After that, governor made a call to Radcliffe and he inquired about. So he got the answer. McCleary, you say? Yes, he is a parson. I don't think there is anyone. Yes, there is. You will find one of your ambulances picked him up from Elsfield way about. One of your ambulances went there to Elsfield to pick him up. Oh, okay. Yes, we sent an ambulance there. But when the people reached there, there was no one, and no one had any idea where that man was. But governor was no more listening. The truth seemed to hit him with an almost physical impact somewhere in the back of his neck. Huh? An hour later, a search was made of McCleary's flat. And where was McCleary found? McCleary was found in his study. His hands were tied, his mouth was gagged, and he informed the investigating officer that he was in that position since 8:15. So the man who came as McCleary was not McCleary at all. He was Evans' accomplice. Now inquiries in Newbury throughout the afternoon produced nothing at all. So search was done, but nothing came out. And by the tea time, everyone knew in the prison what actually had happened. Now this is very important. This is very important, and you have to be very careful about this particular part. Now what everyone came to know? Not everyone came to know that it had not been Evans impersonating McCleary who had walked out. It had been Evans impersonating McCleary who had stayed in. So I will just take a help of little Hindi. जो मैक्लेरी बन के आया था वही वापस गया था, और जो घायल आदमी था, इंजर्ड, वो और कोई नहीं था, इवांस खुद था. So Evans stayed back as injured McCleary. This is very important. Now the fish and chips were delicious, and after a gentle stroll around the center of the Chipping Norton, Evans decided to return to the hotel and have an early night. Evans was enjoying his freedom. Huh? He had bought a new hat, and he very well knew that his hairs will go back to the same glory. He was out again, wasn't he? A bit of bad luck that when Jackson had pinched his scissors, for it had meant a long and a tricky operation with his only razor blade the previous night. Now you remember? Jackson had taken out his scissors, so he had to cut his long hair. So that was a bad luck. But then what was the good luck? The good luck was that if Jackson would have insisted him to take out his hat, remember? He says that take this bloody hat off, and Jackson said, and Ivan said that that is his lucky hat and this is his examination. What he was actually trying to do, because previous night he had cut his hair short, because he must have gotten information that someone who is coming has short hairs, whereas we know that Jackson actually disliked Evans for one thing, that was his long wavy hairs, and so he had to cut his hair, and that hat that he was wearing was actually to conceal that thing. If uh, if Jackson would have insisted on taking that bobble hat off, uh, the whole plan would have been foiled. But that was a lucky thing that happened. Jackson did not take that step, and Jackson and Evans was saved. One of the worst things funny really had been the beard. He has always been allergic to sticking plaster, and even now his chin was irritating, sore and red. So this was something which Evans had planned out, and he had his own bad luck and good luck. And the bad luck was the Caesar was taken away. The good luck was that Jackson did not insist him to take off his hat.